All notebook stains of ink, thoughts I wrote on the paper sprink. Each line a whisper I couldn't say. Now they breathe and beats I play. Streetlights dance puddles below as I walk where lost hearts go. Time moves slow but I don't mind, 'cause I write my truth between the lines. Eyes on the sky, thoughts on a wind. I leave a piece of me in every rhyme. Empty rooms filled with sound, and silence speaks when no one's around. Eyes on the sky, piece of me in every rhyme. Empty rooms filled with sound, and silence speaks when no one's around.
Can you guys hear me now?
Eyes on the sky, thoughts on a wind. I leave a piece of me in every rhyme.
Audio back. All right. OBS is sometimes you just have to fully delete something for it to get fixed. But we're all good. Everything's good. We're back. I was wondering why a lot of people weren't typing at first. But how y'all doing, chat? Dude, the range is nasty. Yeah, what I was saying while the mic was muted, bro, New York looks diabolical. Diabolical. Ecuador win, hell yeah. YM shorts, good. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the YM short aspect. I feel like if I'm talking structurally, and I'll dive more into charts in a minute once more people get in here. If I'm talking structurally, I'd be leaning towards the ES for shorts. Because the YM is still in a 4-hour uptrend. RTY as well. If you look towards the NQ, stronger towards the high end of this candle. ES had a larger rejection. However, what I'm keeping an eye on, 1, so far we have held the lows of the range. 2, NQ actually swept this end of day low on the 4-hour. I know it's harder to see because I'm zoomed out a little bit, but it swept that end of day low on the 4-hour. That itself could be enough divergence to try to push us higher. I'm not overly eager, like, hell yeah, I just want to full pour longs. Today, when I take trades, it's probably going to be locking in like medium risk reward, maybe like 2R, somewhere around there, just because of what we've been in, right? We've been in this range for pretty much all of New York, besides the first move down and the second move up. Outside of that, we have just been fully stagnant. We did hold the low end of the range across the board. I'll draw this on NQ as well, so we have something there. It's like around there for NQ. If we end up holding these and get above the open, I could see a picture for longs. While we're below the open, probably not, unless some structure changes a little bit and gives us conviction, right? So we're still in 15-minute downtrend. Hourly, this looks fucking atrocious, dude. Just wick after wick. And we're following that same process, right? We're just a little lower volume overall and a little less volatility. If we get above the open, that's what I'm interested in. All right, maybe we start to look towards the long structure. Right now, RTY probably looks the best structurally for longs. But if I trade RTY, I'd probably have to use some decent size. What up, Johnson? What up, Eldred? Go long here. I'm not opposed to it, Liz. I'm very open for any direction just based off of how the charts look. What up, David? What up, Raw? I'm not, it's not like screaming to me. Because look at that daily chart. I mean, yeah, if we get shorts, YM could go all the way back down to 51.7s. Not opposed to that if that wants to set up. Something I'd actually like to see more so on the ES is a spike of this end of day low, which would put us down around 410s. So I am open to the possible lower highs setting up somewhere in this general area, looking for that continuation lower. And if I took it here, I'm not in this yet. I'm just showing something. If it sets up, it'd probably be something, maybe like 10-point risk. Throw something like that. Or it's like 1.6R, nothing crazy. But that would be roughly what I'd probably be looking for. At least out the gate. Throw that wider stop towards the session highs and then let it ride. I blinked and was up 170 points. Dude, I was watching Jake's stream and just the volatility there alone was absurd. Yeah, most of it. I'm interested in shorts just structurally. But if we get above the open, I'm not opposed to being like, all right, we may start just respecting this range and going back towards the upside of it. Almost a tilt day for me. I had to shut down the computer for a bit. Got caught up on ES. Low end of range. Wait. Low end range would break. Yeah. I mean, it's valid, right? We're in an hourly consolidation near the lows, trying to figure out if we're going to break this like 410s area that we just have not been able to break. It's a brick wall. If you guys remember, though, this 400 to 420 support is an astronomical 4-hour support. I mean, we've been holding this area for a minute from all of these broader pivots on ES, right? And we talked about it all night last night, and that's been the low for the past 3 days. Like this entire week, if you look at this price action, is washed. If you've caught good trades, phenomenal. But also, if you're more so struggling a little bit, like you're looking for the continuation moves, then I can see that on a week like this, right? We're just completely sideways throughout the market. And it's just something we got to get used to, something we got to get through. Yesterday's trades, by the way. Yeah, we took the 2 small losses on stream. And then after the stream ended, the setup we were kind of looking for played out, where if we continued to hold this 52 to 55 range, we could see that continuation. I ended up getting an entry after stream around here, catching it up like 15-ish points, roughly 2.7 Rs. So that wiped all the losses for me and actually turned it into a really nice overnight session. But I just wanted to show the thesis from what we were watching at the end of stream, and that it continued to work with that move trading within the range. It just took a little bit. Because I think that was around like 10:30. So it took a little bit to set up. Appreciate you, Miss K. How you doing? And it got ran. Yep. It doesn't shock me at all. Gold would be extremely interesting above 40.60. I saw it last time I looked at gold, it was getting this rally, and then I watched it just get absolutely obliterated right after. So we'll have to see, pay attention to how that's going to react. Right now, though, gold is doing what it does best with reversing any type of rally it gets. NQ is what kind of interests me here because it is decently stronger. I'm actually not opposed to it, as crazy as that sounds for me. Let's see if structure holds here or not. Because obviously the chart is weaker, but NQ is a stronger name. And I don't love the hourly too much. Yeah, I'm not going to take that. If it works, it works. Gold hourly is more so in a broader consolidation at the moment. I might take a stab just because the risk to reward perspective is worth it. I'm going to take a small stab on NQ longs with a 30-point stop. Is my P&L up? No. And I have to adjust it. I did take a small stab on NQ longs for now. I have to adjust my P&L real quick, so that way it shows it. There we go. E9. That filled me a little late, but it is what it is. Mainly just gonna watch around the open, see how we react to that if we get up there. The reason I took it is you can have a really tight stop on this. 30 points is a crazy tight stop on NQ, kind of in this environment. Well worth taking. This one today for me is an eval, by the way. I'm like 1 day away from passing, so I'm trying to see if I can get up there. What's my risk? Yeah, low risk. I'm going to add one contract, so my P&L or my entry is going to change a little bit. All right, see if we can get this continuation. What up, Jomo? Let's go 2 grid, NQ, and ES. Let's run these charts. Who cares about the RTY and YM right now? It's going to be there. See if we can get up at least to the open. Retest that from below. Just a little bit more. Give me a couple points. Can't complain about that one, chat. Can't complain about that one bit. Let's see, 150. We'll do trim filled, chat. Trim filled. It's easy. Nah, I'm joking. This has been a rougher week on stream, but happy. What was that, a 2-minute trade? I'll take it. All right, so I got out 40% of the position. Stop's going to go break even on remainders. And then next target for me would probably be, honestly, like 820s. If we get momentum. 820s would probably kick me out of this trade. So that would be like my final target. Sorry, I've been ignoring chat for a little bit. Hesitated getting in, we popped 60 points. It just, I don't know, looking at the way we were consolidating around here, plus that big hourly failure that we talked about in the beginning of the stream was just sitting in the back of my head. It was a trade that I had to be willing to take a stab on, and worth it. Worth it. I'll throw this on the screen just so we know we did trim. You guys can see I took 40% of the position off already around the open. Locked in 200. Rest of the contracts are up like 250. So we'll see if we can get continuation or not. Yeah. I'm going to put stop. Yeah, it's at entry. I technically have it at where my average went into. So it's like here-ish. Do you draw the opening price by yourself? I do. I'm done for the day. Have to walk away or I'd go on tilt. See you later, Johnson. Take it easy, brother. Take a breather. Everything will be all right. Chat, I don't know why you guys don't tell me to trade NQ more often. This shit's fun. This shit goes straight up. Appreciate you, Raw. I mean, as long since 422s. So you got in right around the same area. Actually, you got in a little lower. Nice entry. Beautiful entry. Wait, Ron G's an NQ trade. And it's working, Adam. What a world we live in. I'm trading NQ and it's green. I'll be back. Chill with the stream. Appreciate you, Johnson. Yeah, take a breather, brother. Somebody alert world news. Well, chat, there's 140 points. What the hell do we do now? What do we do now? I'm going to throw the runner up at 750. All right. Well, you know, what do we wrap it up? Call it a stream. GG's. Is that it for the day? We roll one, grab a Guinness. Dude, I saw Jake had Guinness. I saw he got Guinness in Puerto Rico. We just flew. TCM, the biggest thing for me, and yeah, I'm sure if we're rallying this much, there might be news behind it. There might not be. But structurally, the reason I got in this is why I was talking in the beginning of the stream. We swept this and held this support on NQ. We swept that low and got pushed back above. The second we started building this 5-minute consolidation here, the risk to reward was way too worth it for me not to take an entry. Pretty soon I'm going to get liquidated on consistency. So just a fair warning there. I will be full liquidated in $50 more on this contract if we get it. But I'll take it, you know, not too shabby. Anyone take the longs though? Cool, same time tomorrow. No, Gael, this is my Friday, brother. Let me raise this. I'm gonna go 85. This is an NQ, it's volatile, you know, it may not be like, it may pull back a little more aggressively, but I'm running the stop up to 85. But not a bad little day. Right, Jake? Jake, craziest thing. And it's on NQ. I mean, what more could you ask for? Pop up stream, immediately take a long. 200 points on NQ. Chat, like I said, though, in a couple points, so probably like around here-ish, it'll full liquidate me. So around like 200 points. I mean, if we get that, I'm content. I'm content. The only thing for me is just like trailing this stop, just because I know NQ's volatile as shit. And I really wish I'd be able to hold this. But I do have a consistency that I'm going to get hit with. Hell yeah, Gator. All right, there's no right and reason we should get back below 800, so I'm going to move it up 10 more points to 95. I mean, at some point, we're going to pull back a little bit, but we don't have to. I'm pretty sure right there I get liquidated. It's like one tick over the high day. With this though, I'm gonna run stop up to 820 because I don't want to give back a shitload. So I'm putting this up here. NQ's fun. Hell yeah, Lamelli. Pops in to say what up. Holy shit, price action. Dude, I mean, this is the glorious thing though. When you get, what most people don't realize is when you get this on New York, we're likely going to get a somewhat of momentum during Asia if the buying pressure or selling pressure steps in, right? Once we swept this low, it kind of started to right itself there. And that was why this trade was, I had to get in, especially on NQ because it had the relative strength. And it was just well worth it. Hesitated, but good shit. Appreciate you, brother. Question: overnight high plus low and or pre-market high low. Have you found one better for futures? Ren, I use prior day high and low and prior week high and low. Like if NQ wants to keep running, I'd be looking up towards 920s. I would obviously be out of it before then. And I might get trailed out on this just because of how volatile. Never mind. Might not get. Who knows? NQ's in mind of its own. But 29,920 is a bigger pivot for me. If we get above that, hold on. Unfortunately, I won't be in anything. But if we get above 29,920, we get above this resistance, right? We get above this. We get above all of this. And at that point, you're looking for a potential Friday squeeze. Chat, I just got liquidated out of that. So I am cash right there at 190 points. A little 6.4 hours, not too shabby. I wouldn't complain about that. Appreciate you, Wills. I mean, zero drawdown, I'll take it. Appreciate you, Jomo. Full port. Elder, I wish I did. I mean, that's the thing too, chat. Even with trims, this trade, the risk... Oh, wait. Let me cancel orders. Even with trims, this trade was $250 worth of risk. And with trims, we got a little over 1,100 on the 4 micros. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Glad I hopped in the witness. Appreciate you, brother. I mean, I usually don't take trades that quick off stream, but if I get an NQ potential of that type of move with a 30-point stop, now you see the scenario where I'll trade NQ. At some point, we will hit some overhead resistance. ES is back at the highs of this range. If we just get buying pressure continuing to show up and we get back over 55, we're looking right back towards 73s, 75s on ES. At that point, I'm looking last week's lows and another 100 points on NQ. Wait, no, another 50 points on NQ. Ren, I use the extended hours. So I go to the daily chart and you can see I just have the prior high and low marked on every name across the board. Dude, the craziest thing is you go to the 5-minute, that trade looks insane. You go to the daily chart, we've barely moved. We haven't even made a quarter of the price action from today's candle. That just shows how violent New York was. But yeah, we are running to a pretty decent resistance across the board. ES, NQ. If we get some consolidation, wouldn't shock me. But this is pretty strong buying pressure. It's going to see, all right, are we going to be able to get enough momentum right out the gate to get that continuation? Or are we going to stagnate for a little bit? A little slowly? Yeah, I got you, brother. I threw up a little poll, though, chat. How you guys doing so far? I know a few of you call it longs. I know that was a pretty quick entry, but I did mention I was getting in, and then it immediately started ripping. So there was a little bit of opportunity because I mentioned it before that I was watching it. Damn, you're 20 minutes into Asia. Come on, chat. What else do you want? Right, Lamelli? Right? I don't think, especially on my Friday, it can't get much better. Achille Jr., there's 2 lives on this channel right now. Wait. Jake, are you still here? Somehow, I'm currently live on the Asia session and the pre-London. Why? I'm just realizing, why is there 2? I just noticed there's a whole nother chat that I don't even see. Hang on, chat. Let me text Jake really quick. Because I don't know if me ending the 1 is going to mess it up. But yeah, chat, if you're on Allen's, which I don't know how the hell I'm on Allen's right now, so sorry about that. But a lot of the chat's over on the other stream. I truly don't know how that I'm live twice. But either way, both chats, hell of a trade. Hell of a trade. So do I combine the likes for the giveaway? Hell yeah, River. Sorry, chat. If I'm looking down, I'm trying to read the second chat. So I'm trying to make sure I give everyone some love. Glad you caught that, River. 4 giveaways. I can't do 4 giveaways. I can't do 4 giveaways. People are going to call you Alan now. I don't think so. All right, chat. I think I have to try to end Alan's stream. So if you're in Alan's stream, I'm going to try to end it. If it ends mine, I will start one right away. But I don't know how I'm live twice, and it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to jump on that stream real quick, try to end it, and then see if I can. If not, I might just call Jake because I think YouTube's bugging. Ron said 1 chat not enough. Apparently, Lumelli, we're going to multi-stream, and all of a sudden, I'm just streaming twice on 1 channel. Short here on ES for another easy 10 points. I can see it. I mean, we're at a huge resistance. If you're trying to trade the range, we just went straight from the lows to the highs. You're actually Allen today because you traded NQ. That's fair, Trade Wop. Trade Wop, are you seriously in the other stream commenting and in this one? That is dedication. Why? Oh, I'm on the wrong YouTube. Chat, today has just been full of technical difficulties. Luckily, we caught an absolute fire trade, but it's just full of technical difficulties at the moment. All right. Trading future, no. So Allen stream. Allen stream, I'm going to try to end it. So if you're on there, I am live on the other stream if you want to still hang out. So I'm going to end that one. Hopefully, this other one doesn't end. If it does, I'll start it back up. All right, chat, are we still live? Are we good? Are we still here? Miss K. Miss K. Yes, we are perfect. Perfect. What up, JN? How you doing? All right, so we got 57% of the chat green, 8% red. That's better. 35% flat. I'm not shocked with it being flat with a decent majority. I mean, it's not obviously the larger majority, but because, I mean, once we started ripping, that's going to be near impossible to get in off of that. Luckily, we got a really nice entry on that for that continuation. Now we got to look at the other time frames, see what it's all setting up. Dude, this is crazy. 200 points higher, and we're still not even at the prior 4-hour high. We haven't even touched that high yet. Hourly, though, chat, we have this. The one thing that'll be really interesting is paying attention to the Asia Open. Because if that wants to give us momentum, we look for the rip. Right out the gate. I mean, trust me, if there's another opportunity, though, I will flip to a different account. I don't anticipate this to happen again, but I'm not opposed to flipping accounts and taking a couple stabs. It'd be nice to see it pop up 200 again. We go just right out the gate, 200, 1 5-minute candle, 200, back to back. I mean, it's not crazy, in all honesty. If we look at these charts, this 4-hour, obviously, if you just eliminate this, right, which you can't really eliminate it, but just don't put as much emphasis on it, and we get a stronger close like this, continuation gets me looking towards 30,260-ish. That's not insane with the volatility we've been getting. We have 2 4-hour candles of consolidation. Those candles currently are roughly 300 points. We get one more continuation off the top for 300 that puts us around 30,200s. Now, what we need to keep an eye on, though, is if we start to reject more aggressively. If this fades all the way back down, then it's like, all right, probably going to be a little more hands-off on the session because we're just stuck. And it might be waiting for like a London or New York type of move. What's the weekly doing? Did we just trim at last week's highs? Yeah, we just slammed right near last week's highs. What did ES get to? Did ES get to 470s? Or last week's lows? 470s. Why do I not have that marked? Why don't I have last week's lows marked? Hang on. There we go. So ES came just shy of last week's lows. NQ's still holding up stronger at the moment, which is good. Let's go back to the 4 grid real quick. just to see what the other names are doing. Anyways, chat, don't forget to like the stream. Later on, we'll be giving away I believe a Tradeify 25K growth account for y'all. All you have to do is like it, and then when we get to roughly around 150 thumbs up, we'll run the giveaway. YM barely moved. RTY had the relative strength we talked about. It broke new highs on the 15-minute, which is good. So the relative strength is still apparent there. Now you can kind of watch, see if it holds this like 340s area. YM just looks horrible. I will say though, if ES pushes all the way back to this prior hourly high at 35s, we are in a disgusting place in the market. Absolutely atrocious. Venturino, what bullish liquidity are you talking about? I would be surprised if NQ didn't test last week's lows, personally. That would shock me a little bit. This would be a solid area for NQ to hold. It's just, is it going to hold? So it's getting a little bit of selling pressure here. Gold's holding up very well. Didn't get much momentum. Oil's kind of fighting the open a little bit. I don't like how this chart's so much different than these with the width wise. I don't know why it's like that. What I would kind of want to see, if this is going to get continuation, I don't care how much ES pulls back for the most part. I would want to see NQ kind of hold around where our stop was, around 820s on this 15-minute, and either start to immediately rally off the next candle or spike those lows and then get some buying pressure back higher. If that happens, I'm open to getting back in. I would probably jump to like a trade C account and just trade that. Going to be patient though, because we already had a really nice day. See you in an hour, bro. I have FOMO'd and tilted, man. I'm sorry to hear it, CJ. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. The 30-minute wick at 5,683. You want to see us come all the way back down here to retest it? With how ES is currently looking structurally, it makes sense. Curious, did anyone take shorts off the resistance? I guarantee you there's someone. I know TCM caught a small short for 10 points that he talked about. Anyone else take shorts? Yeah, TCM, if we get back under the open, I lean bearish wholeheartedly. That hourly would look horrible. Yeah, I'm short. Hell yeah, Tate. Where'd you get in? Do you want to trade short to that strong 5-minute? That's fair. Number one thing, though, too, is when we get these stronger rallies, and you guys hear me talk about this a lot, when we run out of momentum, you'll see the larger pullbacks. The big factor here, though, is ES. Because, I mean, we're still fighting that hourly structure. We're now retesting that prior hourly high, which needs to hold. Like it needs to hold and it needs to hold now if there's going to be any type of bullish momentum. If it does not hold, I would anticipate some continuation here because we're kind of at the make or break level. What's the 4 grid looking like? Yeah, YM's back below the open. I wouldn't be trying to dip by this. At least not yet. The 15-minute close? Not yet. 4 minutes on the 15. I would love for the 15-minute to stay down here a little bit. But there's a chance we do get buying pressure off this little consolidation area. I can't see myself buying here yet. Kind of hard to think is doing something else now. Wait, it's probably going back to the range, basically. Yeah, we never really left the range is the biggest thing. And this is just range trading. We just did it on NQ. Obviously, we didn't get all the way up to last week's lows, but we hit the broader pivot of these highs here, which I'm cool with. Beautiful trade overall on it. And then ES, clear as day, smacked off that 55 area that we talked about. And that's the area we were watching all night last night. Elder, that's harder for me just because at that point, we're pulling all the way back 150 points. And the main reason that the only way I would have been interested in longing is if we held a little bit stronger on that 15, got a spike lower and then a retest higher. I mean, that can still happen in this volatility, but I would need this 15 to close somewhat like this, maybe slam the open, immediately hold. ES is what's going to keep me off of that. Because when you look at the hourlies, we would need basically the move we just got to recover this hourly candle. And it's possible for sure, but we would need buyers to step in pretty damn aggressively. Pretty damn aggressively. I think now it's just a patience game. But I do have other accounts I'm willing to trade if something decent sets up. I love these conditions. Elder, I feel like these conditions are, you gotta just take the stab and then you let it run, right? Because of the volatility. Like we usually don't get volatility like this during Asia session, which is really nice. Which is crazy because structurally we didn't even change on NQ and it rallied 200 points. All right, so 15 closes in 2 minutes. ES is retesting the open. What are the other names doing? ES and RTY both retesting the open. Those would need to hold now if structure is going to maintain more bullish than bearish. But if we get below the open, I have no interest in longs with that. What an exit, though. I'll take that all day. What a beautiful exit. It's crazy. Long wick on NQ, hourly, no clear direction. And it's not just NQ's last hourly candle. This has been since noon. So over the past 8 hours straight, we've had no clear direction. Just an absolutely massive 315 point range. Water, this week did seem to go super fast because I was watching someone else's stream before mine and I noticed it said Thursday. I'm like, there's no way it's Thursday already. I'm like, there's no way at all. And I looked and I'm like, holy shit, this is my last stream this week. It doesn't feel like I did 5 streams this week. To be honest, I thought it was Wednesday. Reverse button practice has been paying dividends for me this week. This is probably the greatest market to be using the reversal button. And it's something a lot of people don't use. Like, I don't use it personally. I'll use it if I'm trying to lose some dollars in a contract. I'm so glad I remembered to remove my stop loss, or else that would have just been some pain. So we got the 15-minute close right there. Immediate spike back below the open. And now it just looks like continuation back right to the lows, which is crazy. If we get back above 63s, there's a chance NQ tries to save this, which, I mean, the only way to save it would be 14 minutes of just straight buying pressure. Do you take the same stab again? If I did, it would definitely just be on a whole different account, but I can't buy this immediately. I mean, it's not something I'm like, hell no, I'd never do. It would be something where I would take smaller size and be like, all right, here's the risk to reward on it. If it holds, it holds. What I don't like is that all 4 indices are already below the open. So the risk to reward aspect of it would just be playing the volatility. Because if NQ does hold the open, does get back above 65, you're looking right back at the highs. Probably in a very short amount of time. But I think a lot of people can get in some trouble in this kind of market, where you're seeing the volatility, you're seeing the potential. This is what a lot of people get FOMO induced from, is seeing these larger sharp moves because they have fear of missing it. Or they thought about taking an entry up near the highs for a short, but they wanted a little bit of structure to show up and it just didn't show up. What up, Sir Brian? How you doing, brother? Long the range low again? TCM. See, the hardest part for me, I know you're joking. Probably a little serious, but a little joking. The hardest part for me is that entire conviction I had for that trade is about to get reversed. If we keep pushing back lower, we go back towards this low and the entire fail to go lower is gone. But like I said, if the 15 does want to give us some sort of fail to go lower, I can see the high risk to reward aspect of it. The problem is right now you are just trying to time a bottom and you are standing in front of a freight train. If you're willing to stand in front of it, could be worth it. Could really be worth it. Buy 660s, sell 680s. I don't want it back down here. I really don't. Because if you get back down there, the one thesis that could keep this going is we get this hourly close, right? And I'll just remove everything off this chart. We get this hourly close. Repeat the same pattern we've been doing for the past 8 hours straight. Asia session slams us lower, and then we start getting bought right back up. Then if we break back over 660s, you have the hourly fail to go lower yet again, and you can look for that to kind of play out. That would be so more what I'd be looking towards. What up, Lino? How you doing? If I get short, I'm aiming for 29,300 or lower. Yeah, you need the lows to break. I mean, that's quite literally today's lows, which is crazy. Do we have 1,000-point range on the day? God damn. I really missed a lot in New York. I missed a lot, but didn't miss anything at all at the same time. Yeah, 1 HP. And that's the thesis. When we're in a range for this long, it's more so play the range until the range stops ranging. And that's kind of what you just do with it, right? If you anticipate continuation, that's when you can trim some runners, see if you can hold some to get through. Worst case, add on conviction after taking a decent trim, and then see if you can get the continuation there. But for me, we are hard stuck. This chart now looks horrible, and it's not good. Yes, Ali, I do. There's certain wicks I don't put like a whole lot of emphasis on, but also at the same time, like you can put emphasis on this, but you always got to remember just looking at the price action structure, because what people will do is they'll look at this and say, oh my God, that's a higher high. Oh my God, this is a lower low. Pay attention to the bodies of the candle. Did we really go anywhere? If no, then it's just a consolidation, right? That's all this is for me. Until we get below 29,600 or above 29,930s, this is a range, and I do not anticipate us to really break it. Once we break it, we can see some momentum. Right now, this chart looks horrible. 10 minutes left. Unless Trump makes a crazy tweet, I don't see us getting all the way back up here. I would rather see us close down here weak, see what we do at Asia Open, see if we either get the continuation or if we get the rally. Big bear flag. I mean, I can see it. The wildest thing that most people probably don't pay attention to with this is if you look at this general area, this entire time, all we've done is consolidate. We have had 2 spikes lower, essentially 1 big spike higher that couldn't get continuation on it. And this is what we're stuck in. So we've essentially been ranging besides 2 different times, actually within less than a 24-hour period from yesterday to today, since June 23rd. No. Yeah, June 23rd. That's crazy. We're already back at our entry. What a market, though. What are Asia session hours in New York time? 8 p.m. Eastern is when it opens. And I don't know exactly when it closes. I would assume sometime during the pre-market. Gold's starting to look a little bit more nasty too. Yeah. Yep. What's oil doing then? Because I saw oil made a crazy rally today. I mean, crazy, but we talked about this potentially happening yesterday on oil. Obviously, I didn't trade it, but not a bad little 3-4% move on it. Dude, imagine if we just bought the exact same area and it just ripped. Of course, Summer. Yeah, Ali, that's why this is where patience matters a lot, but also where risk to reward kind of comes into play, right? In this kind of market, the risk to reward can start to outweigh the possibility of the trade, like the percentage the trade's going to work based off of conviction, where it may be worth taking a stab or two in the market. Just because you catch one of these moves, obviously you can see it rips 200 points for 6R. I'm just going to reverse again. 1 HP, you're just going to reverse right around our other entry area? Or no, you're looking for 660s, right? Did I miss another giveaway yet? No, Moke. How you doing, brother? Also, IAG, I saw you say what's up. I don't know. I don't remember if I said what's up yet. Yeah, TCM, the hard part for me with shorting is obviously we have different strategies. So I'm just going to talk about my strategy and you have a different one. I know that because you usually take little scalps, I believe, for the most part. So it'd be slightly more momentum based, I would assume. Is we just sold off 33 points on ES. I just structurally, I would need a little bit more with the way I trade. Maybe a retest. It doesn't even have to be the open. Maybe just a retest of like 25, 26, somewhere in there. Give me a lower high at some point that I can trade. Then I'd be interested in possible shorts. Actually, I just popped back in. Welcome, Lamelli. Yeah, I don't know what... I saw your session did this shit too. What's crazy is this is way more violent than yours was. But yeah, dude, we are hard stuck in this market. There's a chance it's a one and done kind of day. We'll see. I mean, I'm willing to take a stab at some point, but I do not know exactly what I want to take yet. And it's going to be very hard to just blindly buy. It's going to be hilarious, though, if this exact entry holds and it just goes right back up. What if shifted a little downward? Yeah. I mean, so we have 5 minutes till Asia Open. That hourly. The one thing I will say, because I know some people in here are trying to dip buy, right? People do it. Obviously, luckily we got in with the 5 minute trend, so I was happy with it. If you're going to stab, put a limit on your stabs, please. Don't oversize looking for some absolute home run. Let smaller size get you the home runs because it's pretty easy to do with smaller size if we're going to get momentum. Just don't. Today's not a day to try to be a hero and get some absolutely insane dip buy. Oversizing sounds like me. Well, Johnson, good. Think of the size you want to use and use half of that. Fuck around and find out. True, Gael. True. This is the market where you can easily fuck around and find out. Wholeheartedly. Is anyone still holding shorts? Because I know some people got in up here. I'm also going to change the poll. I'm happy a decent amount of you caught some type of long within this. I know a lot of people probably didn't get this type of entry. Majority could have, but I'm sure some people chased the momentum over the open as well. Yeah, Gator, we're full out, brother. You can see right below, is my P&L up? Yeah, you can see right below my name. We're full flat. We locked in everything. This was, my final sell was 877.25. So right there. So sorry, it wasn't 6.4, it's 6.3. I lied. I'm still holding that reverse button looking tempting again. Yeah, 1 HP. I see it. I mean, I see, if you're looking to trade the range, I understand dip buy wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Appreciate you, Gator. Yeah, Chris, the biggest thing for me is waiting for that open. Seeing if our thesis we talked about works out, right? If we get the open, get a slam lower that gets bought back up, could be another opportunity there. For now, though, more so just sit on hands a little bit, at least for me, right? If you want to stab, do your thing. It'd be kind of crazy if we inside barred this, though. Like if we didn't spike this low and then just immediately on the Asia Open slammed right higher, that would be a little interesting. What up, Seven? How you doing? All right, chat. Let's end this poll and run our normal one. There, chat. I put a new option on there too. I'm ready for Asia, baby. Let's get it. Let's see if we can lock in something else. Please test, open, and dump. That would be a solid entry. If we got something kind of like this, obviously you're probably paying attention to NQ for the most part. If Asia gave us this little rally here, spiked all the way back lower, and then we watch how it reacts to the session lows. It's just, this whole move lower would be hard for me to short because there wasn't a single 5-minute consolidation candle other than this or this more so aggressive 2-bar play. Those would be good momentum type trades, most likely. All right, we got the Asia Open starting in 40 seconds. By the way, chat, if you haven't already, hit the like button on the stream. You guys are already crushing the like so far today, so I appreciate the support. Once we get to 150, we'll start running a giveaway. Such a weird spot, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is just, and I keep going back to it, I keep talking about it. This hourly just, like, this is where accounts go to die for most people, right? And I'm glad I didn't trade New York. I didn't even open a broker during New York. But this is where accounts just go to disappear. See you later, Trade Bop. Evil consolidation up 300 points, down 400. Mike, that's just, it's uncertainty, right? I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the peace deals overseas and how that's all going too. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. We're trying to figure out where the market really wants to go. And we're just in an aggressive battle between bulls and bears. That's all this is. We cannot get above the resistance. We cannot get below the support. And when we do break outside of it, we're not getting continuation. We're getting outside of it barely, slamming right back higher. Getting outside of it barely, slamming right back higher. Across the board. NQ got a little more momentum here, but still wasn't able to get anything out of it. So until we break this, I anticipate it to continue. Eval is still alive, so there's that. Hell yeah. Tilted TBH, caught myself, locked in, and survived. Good to hear, Eldred. Good to hear. Because, yeah, you said you chased that first move, right? Miguel, I know you didn't mean to type the word feel, unless you think you're saying feels and like test the hourly wick. I mean, it's not crazy if we go back up to 29,900. Can it? Yeah. But at that point, this market's just on X Games mode. Obviously manipulated. The whole market's manipulated. Every single aspect of the entire stock market is manipulated. So it's just something we got to live with. So we might get the lower high that some of you guys are looking for here. A big level I wanted to see test was down around like 410s on ES. See if we can sweep New York session low. Well, not New York session lows, end of day lows. So below on ES, we have like 74.10, 74.09, and then obviously 390s. Yeah, agreed, Rob. And that's something I always say about the market is people go, this is such a like a manipulated market. And I'm not calling out Rod, right? I'm just talking rhetorically. People will say that. And I'm like, dude, the entirety of the stock market is manipulated. Every single aspect. And just when you understand it is, you try to catch what you can within it and try to be on the right side. Looks like a heart monitor. Yeah. I was talking about New York session for the session. I just stopped right before pump and stood sidelines. Happy for that, Eldred. Happy for it. I was up like 97. I was like 97 up on the funded accounts, and the eval caught a good run of a low but missed the melt. That's not bad though. Johnson, you went into a trade. What'd you take on your demo? Chat, if we get above the open, what do we do in this market? Also, be honest, chat. Who dip bought? Who did it? We won't judge. We'll listen, but we won't judge. I know somebody dip bought. I did it. Yep. Knew it. There's more. There's people lurking. Eldred, in different conditions, I would judge. With how the market currently is, you do you, right? Just one micro, not bad. And there's barcode BS, green is good. Yeah, 7, that's what I, like, if you survive today in New York, you should be proud, right? If you catch, and this is the good thing about this market though, even though it is aggressively violent, like you can easily get liquidated in this type of market if you don't have a hard stop. Or you'll take extra slippage on the stops. If you catch one good trade, that's enough to make your week. Rodriguez, you get in a little early, I would assume. This little spike lower here, I'm assuming NQ got you out. If we get above the open though, game's back on for NQ. I'll say that. If this thing rips the open, game's right back on. If this trade works twice, diabolical. No, Miguel, no worries about that at all, brother. Especially if English isn't your first language. That's why I always ask people just to make sure I fully understand what their comments are. BS is going to fill the hourly wick. If we get above the open, I can see it. The hardest part for me, though, is conviction on this one. Because the hourly looks like this. The one thing I wanted that would have gotten me interested in possibly another stab was if we swept that hourly low and then got bought back up. If we stay in this, I mean, yeah, we can go back up here. We can spike the highs again. This time maybe go up to 930s and then set another upside wick. If that happens, Holy shit, Mark, it's just out to get people. Also, chat, real quick, what would you guys prefer to watch? This 4-grid or just ES and Q? Let me know. Because I know this is probably a lot for some people. And if this is cleaner, I'll just leave it on this for you guys. 4-grid. All right, I'll tell you guys what. We'll run a new poll. Appreciate you, Miguel. Yes, thank you. Fuck the boomers. All right, we'll run a poll. Because I know the 4-grid could be a lot for people. It's also smaller on you guys' screens. All right, give me your answers. I usually listen to you and watch my chart. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I just know some people will look at these. And normally the chart's not going to be this hard to see, but with the fucking range we have, it just is what it is. Gael, I figured you would. It's got a little bit of your blue. I'll change it to scarlet and gray if you want. I'll change the colors right now. ES and Q with a staggering 82%. What I will do though, because I'll still watch my 4-grid on the right monitor. If I want to talk about divergences, I'll flip to this chart, right? And then we'll talk about them, go through all that stuff, and then I'll flip back to this. Yeah, if you guys prefer to watch this, we'll watch this. And then if you guys have questions about any other indices or just correlations in general, I'll flip to the other one. Leaving stream if you do that. I'll smell you later. Finding great trades with RTY and YM. Hell yeah, Blambo. Love hearing that. I've gotten a decent amount of people to at least pay attention to all four on a different monitor. Because like I usually talk about, this isn't the main chart structure that I watch. I'm usually watching this, or honestly, lately something like this, where I'm just watching ESNQ. Unless I'm paying attention to a different name, then I'll flip to those. Switch to light mode. No. No. I would quit streaming before I switched my chart to light mode. Everything I own is dark mode. Every single broker, browser, app is dark mode. Do you trade while stream from tablet? Hell yeah, Elder. Plus, dude, especially, obviously, right now it's weird because it's 8 p.m. and it's light out. We're in the summertime. If we get into winter, no one's going to want to see a pure white screen on their whatever they're watching on at 9 or 10 p.m. I would turn it off immediately. I get it first thing in the morning with like Jake's stream, but no. I use dark mode 24/7. All right, so ES is still fighting the open a little here. Flashbang. Sometimes blind me on my mobile at 3 a.m. That's why I don't do it. That is the main reason I don't do it. Because obviously you guys know I stay up late for a lot of stuff. So light mode just ain't going to cut it. Dark mode for life, like my skin color. Elder, I agree. I think people with light mode is psychopathic behavior. Please go low of day. Elder, you take a short? I mean, technically, we're still 15-minute inside bars. Well, no, not 15. We're 30-minute inside bars. If ES gets back below the open, you could look for the 15-minute failure to go higher for that continuation back lower. Tight stop, got stopped. Yep. What up, Nah? How you doing? Move my micro to B. Gael, where'd you get your entry? So you got the exact same entry we got earlier? Hell yeah. Nothing like taking the same trade twice. Actually, no, you got me beat by 1 tick. That's still not a bad trade. You're almost up 100 points on that. Was that 1 HP looking for the entry at 660? Curious if he got in. Not too shabby at all. Quick little, what, 175 buffer on the day? Can't complain. Can't complain. All right, I'll get rid of these because they're just extra lines right now. What I really don't want to see, though, is us get this initial momentum out the gate, and then we just spend the rest of the time in this. I do lean more bearish than bullish at the moment, just based off structure. Like, if that hourly had spiked the lows, I would have more conviction for this rallying higher, but the fact that we didn't gets me kind of interested in a potential move lower. The hard part is I'm just trying to figure out if I want to put risk on. So far, I don't love anything enough that's worth it. Yeah, I mean, Gaia, they do and they don't, right? The only reason I would want to see lower is because we didn't spike this low. And we easily can. I still think we lean lower. The biggest thing is just we're stuck. We are hard stuck. But now, if NQ remains back below the open, we get a 15-minute fail to go higher, I would be leaning toward shorts. See if we can take out 610s on NQ at that point. If we fight the open and get back above, less interested in it wholeheartedly, just because of what that hourly looks like. How do you get trading view to show the name of the chart in the background? Settings, canvas. Where is it at? Maybe. Symbol. It's somewhere in here, dude. It's somewhere in here. I thought it was in canvas. Did I miss it? Watermark, right here. Go to watermark, and I don't know why it's on replay mode. I don't care about that. But I just put the ticker on. You can also do interval, so it shows the time frame you're on. I did that for the chat in the very beginning when we were on Discord, I think. GC, please. You want me to look at it? I'll look at it. Gold, what I'd be paying attention to is 40.37. If we get momentum back over that, which is going to be this broader low, it's the prior 4-hour low as well from the New York session, so probably this wick right here. If we get momentum above that, I could see us staying in this range, pushing higher, right? We are at a pretty big hourly support. And I do like that it did spike the session lows already. So I can see it continuing to play out this range, getting back above the open and seeing that continuation up towards like 40-60s. Not opposed to that happening at all. Not something I'm going to trade, though, just because I'm not overly interested in the market at the moment. I do still think the indices can attempt higher, also mainly just because of we're building another 5-minute consolidation. We long the last 5-minute consolidation. I'm just very neutral. The only thing that has me hesitant is that hourly candle. No, I just looked at gold. Jose, what's CVD? Yes, filling the open currently. I do like shorts if we get a clear push down. Yeah, I mean, this is the pivot so far in the session, right? We have the highs, the low. The open is the mid. If we get trending above the open, I'm looking back for the highs. I'd be looking for 55 on ES. I would, no joke, be looking for 930s on NQ without hesitation. Even though the hourly looks like crap, you still got to remember we are in a range. The candle doesn't have to be perfect if we're range bound trading. Where more so you're just paying attention to structure. Missed the first 5-minute bar of the original move up. We've had me doing dishes. But I reversed at 878, then reversed at 688, and added 677. You're going to reverse at 825. Why 825? Just curious. So let's see. Let's mark these out so we can look at them. You reversed at 878. What a snipe. And then I know you bought once and rebought. 1 HP, weren't you waiting for 60 though? And you added it 77. Yeah, as long as your size appropriately to add, and that's according to your game plan, rock it. Miss K. Miss Cage is out here making up stories. I love how Miss Cage just jumps in, no matter what stream I'm in, drops a random flirty message, and then just disappears for like 30 minutes. And then comes back, drops another one, and disappears for another 30 minutes. Cumulative volume delta from Bookmap. Okay. I'm high as fuck. Hell yeah, Miss K. Hell yeah. Love that for you. The interesting part for me, though, is that NQ didn't sell off below 32s. So now what I would be looking at is more so this. We get conviction outside of that on ES or NQ, then I'd look for that continuation. I don't know what the 15 looks like. Also, sorry, chat. I'm on the wrong chart. I'm just used to it. Hourly inside bar, or 15-minute inside bar, NQ spiked higher. So we're going to reject the mids here on NQ and push back lower. What's the 15s look like here? Everything's fighting the open. I still lean slightly more short bias, open to potential long bias, simply just because of the range we're in, but short bias because of what the hourly looks like. Aladdin, you smoke too much, you only get high for 20 minutes. See, I don't do it enough. If I do, I'm absolutely cooked. Especially if I do it with Jake. Brother, I'm gone. I was in on the reverse from 87, so once I flipped green, I hit reverse again. I think we need to follow gold. Why do we need to follow gold? Also, why is there just people jumping in chat talking about gold? Yes, easy money. And the first time I did it, I had PTSD from it. Because what Jake used to do is when he was in LA, because the first time, actually, the very first meetup, we did a volcano with a bunch of the mods and Jake, and that was rough. No joke. That night, which this had to be 4.5 years ago when we did a Pittsburgh meetup, the group was so small, for instance, there was 12 people there at the time. And then with significant others, there was like 20. But it took the four of us. Me and Jake were just sitting on the couch. The other two were cooking. It was like 2:30 in the morning. They were making breakfast. It took them 2 hours to make breakfast. It was that bad. 2 hours straight of trying to cook. But no, in LA, Jake used to always smoke the infused joints. And me being from Ohio, and it obviously not being legal here at the time, I didn't know what that was. So Jake would hand it to me and I'd hit it just like a normal joint. Now, about 20 minutes later, absolutely toasted on the couch for an hour. No clue, because I'm with stuff like that, I'm more of a lightweight with it, so I don't need a lot. Just absolutely gone for an hour straight. Because the problem is, he would let you hit it a few times, then he'd be like, by the way, yeah, that's infused. And you're like, ah, sick. Well, RIP to my next hour. I smoke joint after joint, and if anything, it just makes me sneeze and have itchy eyes. That sounds miserable, Aladdin. That sounds fucking horrible, brother. Got my daily goal from 2 funded 25K next gen accounts. Is next gen a prop firm? I've never heard of them. Working on Alpha Futures funded account right now. Hell yeah. Love that. Dude, there's so many prop firms out there. It's crazy. There's so many out there. Someone is allergic to drugs. Yeah, Aladdin, just a bunch of prop firms like that I don't trust. Like, I've seen accounts where, and I've seen people promoting them where it's like, oh my God, you can get this prop firm account, a 10K account for $10. And I'm like, that company's either going to go under or they're scamming people aggressively. Obviously, I'm not saying next gen's like that, but anytime I look at prop firm accounts, I just have to do a lot of due diligence on them. I mainly only trade maybe 4 prop firms max. No, I'm not saying that about them, but it's always important to pay attention to how prop firms react. That's like even with Tradeify. When, right, sorry, mid-sentence and I just read Rain's fucking comment. Wise man once said, I just like the way it smells. You know, respect. But even with Tradeify, when they first came out, even though me and Jake knew Brett, we didn't jump in right away just because we want to see how the platform is going to do first before we put our names behind stuff. Can you give a rundown of Alpha and My Fund of Futures? Bradley, what are you interested in about them? For me, My Fund of Futures, I can't a lot just because I haven't really traded them. I haven't traded My Fund of Futures in like 3 years. Alpha's a really good platform. I traded them a few months ago. Alan, unlimited resets. Are they a new firm? Because unlimited resets gets me questioning things. Unless it's like a $200 25K account or something. Even then, it'd be too cheap. Because unlimited resets, you're guaranteed to pass one of them. Till tomorrow. Oh, okay, so it's like a promo. Fair. Okay, so what it seems like to me, if they're running those kind of sales that you guys are mentioning, they're trying to get market share. Because what a lot of firms do is they make deals like that, try to get market share. Then when they get a decent market share, they make their rules match everybody else's. That's what like that top one company did. Yeah, if they're newer, that makes sense. They're always going to run crazy deals, or else you're just not going to get market share because it's such a competitive market now. Because unless you have better rules, why would someone pick you over a bigger prop firm that's trusted? The women in the chat today are just going absolutely rogue. Just going absolutely rogue. Out of control. No, I'm not muted. Yeah, my voice is still picking up. We're good. Can't hear me. What do you mean you can't hear me? It's picking up. Was it actually muted for half a second? Am I good? Now we can't? OBS is gonna tilt me. The streaming platform alone is gonna tilt me. You didn't hear my response to the message. Oh, I said I read the first half and I was ready to just drop knowledge. Be like, all right, we're going to jump into psychology. And then I read the second half and I'm like, now it just sounds like a personal problem. And I don't know what to do about that. Oh. Hang on. So it mutes when I do this. Now we're good, right? Now we're chilling. Perfect. I forgot I have to change the audio aspect on every single one of my things because OBS bugged. So if I get muted, just spam it in chat. That's all it is. It'll just be if I switch scenes. Is that what happened earlier? Normally on OBS, obviously people who don't stream won't really know what I'm talking about, but there's like an audio source I have to use. Randomly on OBS, it'll just quit making that source work and you just have to delete it and remake it. Yeah, 1 HP, I did. I changed my mic because in the beginning of stream, it muted me for a little bit. Today's stream, just stream-wise, phenomenal. Technical difficulty-wise, horrible. Absolutely horrible. Seven, when'd you go short? Let me scroll up because I know obviously chat's been spamming a little bit. One HP, why do you have to execute on TradingView? Can't you execute on Trade of 8 and hotkey the button? You should be able to there. So you went short a few minutes ago. You caught a nice little scalp if you did it. All right, chat. We have finally spiked the low of the prior hourly candle. What do we think? We think we're going to hold this low or are we going to pivot back down? Angel number? Yeah. From open. Call most of the short on my eval from open. Hell yeah. What was that, like 120-ish points? Just by looking at the P&L. 100. Not too shabby. There's been a lot of opportunity today. Like if I didn't catch that earlier entry, I'd probably be taking stabs, which could be bad, right? I could be sitting here trying to take stabs and just the stab's not stabbing. And I'm definitely open to taking something else. I'm being patient while we're in this. So I think there's a lot of opportunity, but there's also a lot of opportunity to get crushed. 15 looks like it's rolling over, but I caught my piece. It looks like it's rolling over, but now we're getting that exact reaction I wanted to see initially off of Asia. I would have liked to see lower personally. Just if we're going to hold, give me one of these wicks, not one of these wicks, because there's less conviction in that one. We can still hold. I mean, that's the same structure I took the 4 hour off, right? But that little bit of a wick doesn't give me a lot of conviction. This could straight be a little trap here. We spike this high like we did, slam right back lower. I would love to see that like 410 area on ES test. Thoughts on gold today? Rough. It looks like it did slam up to that 37 area we talked about. I think we said if it gets over 36.8, I'd be interested in longs. Went right up to that, slammed off of it, pushed back lower, no longs. So for me, gold to be shorting, maybe looking for yesterday's open, which apparently I still have marked. They're on like 420s, 40-20. Below that, you have supported gold 39.90s, 39.85s, somewhere in there. The thing is, though, just the market in general, we are volatile. 420. What up, Tay? How you doing, brother? Going for a trail run, maybe come back and trade good conditions today. I like it. We'll see. I definitely expect this volatility to chill out at some point. I doubt it's going to carry out through the rest of it. No, Marty, no hat today. I usually wear the hat when my hair, because I have cowlicks like right here. And if my hair just is pissing me off, I just put it on because I really don't care. It's the main reason I wear it. Gold shorts kill my mental. When'd you get in, most fab? Sold for just one runner at 715. Your entry 715? Hell yeah, Eldred. How does it feel to know that? Chat. We need to lock it the fuck in today. I don't know what is going on with you guys, but we need to lock it in. That's like the fourth comment. It's just out of pocket. I mean, I love it, but it's just so out of pocket on stream today. Trade Rob, do you think my hair's long enough for dreadlocks? First off, no. I could never do that. How you doing, Tay? What is up, brother? Extensions. No. No. Why don't you make Jake get dreadlocks? I'm just sitting in the water looking at me. Tay, you trying to flirt with me right now? Is that what's going on? Anything's possible if you just believe. I think Jake would look better in dreadlocks. You guys need to push the blonde aspect of him more on stream, right? Make him lower the number. Make him set a new bar. Because remember, the bar was 50K by the end of June. We have 5 days. 5 days to do it. Little bit away. We need to average like 2,500 subs a day, which is a little rough, right? So you got to make him set a new parameter. Our job later? Hell yeah. I remember it being July. No, if you do exclamation mark sub, it'll tell you it's June. Tarnishing those curls in any capacity should be illegal. The overall, then that's the thing. This is my hair being tamed. If I just let it air dry, it's not as curly as like Jake's, but it's worse than this. That's also why it's super fluffy. Anyways, what are we at likewise? Chat, we're already at 120. Y'all are only 30 likes away from a giveaway. Yep, by June 30th. Unfortunate part is missed out on a 100 account giveaway. Dude, that would have sucked for Jake if he forgot about that and then we hit it. And then all of a sudden he had to give away 100 accounts. Man's already given away enough. Will we bounce off the low? Let me know when to enter and exit. I don't want to enter or exit anything right now. Shorts are playing. If we break this session lows off Asia, I would look for like 600, 610, somewhere in there. Just the low end of the range. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. Because remember, NQ was stronger, which is part of the reason I took it. Now, it's farther below the open than ES is here. So if NQ gets down to 600 and then ES tries to get that continuation as well, while NQ still has selling pressure, we can push below. We can easily get that push below. Why I'm still above the open, the only thing kind of holding on right now, which is why I flipped to this. Gold still weak. Oil not getting much love. Looks like the overall market's just in that area. But no, this is turning into a pretty straightforward bear flag at the moment on ES at least. I would love 410s to test. I might have to just stop reading chat. And that's on me, guys. I apologize for reading chat today. That's my bad. I should have anticipated this. Just immediately, just gotta stop reading the fucking chat. Elder, this is the chat the entire day. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta stop reading it. Break 630s might call up for us the volume gap. Yeah, 1 HP. If you're short, 630s isn't bad. Just the general area. Because remember, even though I said 610s, I don't look at like a finite level. I look at more of like an area. So on NQ, with how volatile it's been, that could be a 40-point range I'm going to look at for potential hold support. Freaky Friday ETH? Dude, it has been pretty much. Oh, you're still long from the reverse? So 1 HP, I'm just going to draw this out because I believe this is kind of what you're looking at. So you had in at 80 initially and then 77. So your entry is probably somewhere mid 80s. You said your stop's 30 and then your target's like 830-ish. So you got like right around 3R-ish you're looking for. A little under maybe. Not a bad trade at all. Honestly, looking at this trade, the stop we got is kind of insane. Because we capitalized on the low volatility right before the volatility picked up. Now it's going to be hard to get a 30-point stop. Don't look down the cliff. Huh? We hit the long at the start of the stream. That's what happened in the chat. Toasted, you're right. That's on me. From now on, just losses only. No more 6.4 hours right at the beginning of stream. Got to lock it in more. Did I take that 2 minutes into stream? I think I did. I took that. No, 10 minutes into stream. So we got in there. Yeah, Logan, market's been on X Games mode. Market's been crazy. What a damn trade. Appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you, Logan. Is there any data tomorrow? We do have a channel in the Discord that displays that. Yes. You guys should be able to see this. Tomorrow, we have PCE in the morning and GDP. Wait, no, that's this morning. Never mind. We got nothing. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. It's my bad. I'm all over the place today. I'm all over the place. Chat's all over the place. We're just not locked in. That was awesome. Yeah. This entire day, I thought it was Wednesday. The entirety of the day. That's why I'm glad I didn't trade options. I would have been way wrong on my time. Literally said, hi, what's up, and eat it along. No, Eldred, first we had a technical difficulty. When we got past the audio issue, then I said, hi, what's up, and yeeted along. Almost immediately after. And the stream, fuck you, Ollie. I don't want to end the stream yet. What are the indices doing? Once again, ES spiked the low. Nothing else it did. Everything else is little inside bars on the 15. I would love some type of like setup if I was interested. I don't think we're going to get something like this again. I think everything else is going to be lower conviction, higher risk. with probably not as good of a risk to reward, but I mean, even like a 2-hour trade's fine. Joe, salt and pepper. That is the only thing I use on steaks. Just basic salt and pepper. You take back your bearish statement. Sorry. Rain, give it like 5 minutes. It'll pop back off bearish. You should have known when I initially started saying NQ looks promising. Elder, I think the greatest thing is if you go back on stream, I said NQ looks promising. And then I was like, I don't think I'm going to take that. Maybe 20 seconds later, I took it. Maybe. Hello from India. How you doing? I caught almost all but like 10 points on the move up from that move down. You got in on the leg up before me. So 1 HP, you're talking this leg? If I got in the leg before you, so you got in this one. Or you got in this one after I did. One or the other. Peter, I don't have a chicken coop. Lots of love for you, my friend. Appreciate you. It means a lot. Peter, are you mistaking me for someone else? Because I don't have a chicken coop. Has Mitch been building a chicken coop? Did I miss something? Bought the 750 minute 5 bar? 715. Oh, yeah. So you got in right here. Okay. So you caught all but like the little bit of a wick there. Nice trade. Even so with that, let's say you caught that one. Obviously, you don't know where your stop is in general, but if you got all but 5 points, we'll go 150, so like 140. 140 points. You really can't complain about that. What's crazy is there's 60 point difference in that one candle, which I think was like a 2-minute bar. You basically got in where I trimmed, which I thought it was a decent trim. Fucking mistakes. Re-entry NQ. It's hard. It's hard because the conviction's not there. Now on NQ, the conviction's just not there. Can it make the move? Sure. But this is a drastically different structure than this, right? We came down, swept the end of day low on New York, got bought back up. I love that higher low right here that we caught. And then we didn't make another higher low after that. But then this lower high structure right before it, now lower low, it's not something I'm overly eager to jump in. Just kidding. All right, Peter. Why did you take this? Just so you know, I'm not in that trade anymore. But the overall conviction before, I kind of just briefly swept over it there. Big thing for me is NQ swept this 4-hour low, which was the end of day session on the indices. Nothing else did. When I first jumped on stream, I talked about this on how that can help give us some conviction. If the market's going to hold, that little sweep on NQ could be what gives us enough buying pressure to get that continuation higher. At the same time, started to look at the hourly aspect. Hourly closed a little more bearish in general, but I ignored that a little bit. So I mainly focused on the 4-hour sweep and then looking at the 5 and the 15 structure. 15 held the lower end of this range, which we already talked about. 5-minute started to set this little consolidation after breaking the lows. So I was trading the range for the most part, right? I didn't dip by the low of the range. First off, I wasn't even on stream for that. But once we started to set this and seeing only a 30-point potential risk on NQ, I was willing to take it. Am I going to say it's like the most A++ entry? No, because the market's been in a range for 9 hours now, you know? But I'd say I had enough conviction to take it, and it was definitely higher conviction than what the market's currently giving. I still lean lower on the market at the moment. I want to see ES test 74 times. And if we go higher, we go higher. But I'm at the point now where we either need a decent structural higher low on the 15 to gain interest in longs, or we go sweep the lows. That's kind of where I'm sitting. By the way, chat, you guys are currently 10 likes away. So if you get 10 people in this chat, because I know there's a lot of you out there that haven't liked it. You haven't shown the support yet, but if you do, we'll run the giveaway. Gold just did you dirty. Still watching that 37 area. It's been, gold's a little nasty thing down here. But if we get conviction back over 37, you could wait till over the open. You could see interest in longs. Primarily also the next 13 minutes will be important. Looking at the hourly. All we're doing at the moment, let me draw a few things here. So let's just draw a little line there. And then we'll go here and look at this. So we came up, hit there, which was this prior high. Pulled back into yesterday's open or the overnight high, whichever you want to call it, from New York. Made the high. Now we're kind of just slowly trending lower. Retested this high. I didn't mean to close the line, but retested this high. If that holds, that's a higher low. Could get conviction. Is it the strongest conviction in the market? No. But you're trying to set a 4-hour and hourly higher low. Could get the momentum, but you just got to realize the market you're in. We're just heavily range bound. Watch that, don't be an Emily. Emily catching strays out here. You like this entry here or at my stop loss? Yeah, either work. Either work flawlessly. If it's going to work, good. Giveaway today. Logan. Logan. It's right here. It's right here. NG trades, you're good, brother. I just went over it like 3 minutes ago. But if more people want to hear it later on in the stream in like a couple minutes or so, or during the giveaway, I have no problem jumping into it. I just don't want to repeat it like 2 minutes after I just went over it. Any opinion on why all Mag 7 are in downtrend, but indices look like nothing to see here? Yes, Randy. It's the wonderful world that we've been talking about for a while of sector rotation. Some of you guys that have been on my stream since the beginning will remember us talking about this. When we were getting these broader rallies, one aspect that I mentioned I was looking for was price action similar to 2022 with violent trends, right? Some of y'all are going to remember that. And there's one way that we mentioned that the market won't just get a massive reversal on the higher time frames. Yes, we got a decent reversal, but massive versus this trend would be like 50% or so with sector rotation. And that is likely what is currently happening. Because if you notice, during this trend, two names really stuck out, ES and NQ. Because the Mag 7 and semiconductors were straight ripping, leading the entire market. The market was weighted on a very few select names throughout this rally. Now what's taking over relative strength? You have small caps and the industrials. So you're seeing a sector rotation into small caps and industrials at the moment versus big tech. So that's more so just what is likely happening on a broader scale. Yeah, Randy, if you have any questions about that, feel free to throw them in. Of course, brother. Yo, we hit 150. We did. All right. I'll open her up. Chat, you guys want 4 minutes or 5 minutes? I'll let you pick. 2. I'm not doing 2. Not doing 2. Just because people that are on TVs and stuff want them to be able to get in. 3 seconds. You motherfuckers. I shouldn't even have asked. 4.5. You want to meet in the middle of 420? I don't even think I can do that. I think it's got to be one solid number. We'll run 4. So you will have 4 minutes to do it. The reason I don't do like 2 minutes or 30 seconds, by the way, giveaways launched. The reason I don't do like 2 minutes or 30 seconds is because a decent percentage of people are watching on like a TV, right? Or people will have me on in the background while they're working or doing something else, and they might not be able to enter right away. I know some of y'all want lower odds, right? You want the best odds possible. The bot should have started, did it not? No, bot didn't start. All right, now it started. If you typed it, type it again. Dude, technical difficulties today are just, they won't stop. But I want to make sure everybody has a chance to get in, if you do. This one, though, when 4 minutes hits, if we're near that like 100 entry mark, it's closed. I'm not reopening it. Doesn't matter if 1 or 2 people come in and say, oh my God, I didn't get in. You have time to enter. But exclamation mark enter, you only have to do it once. If you want to type in more, feel free. If you've won before, you cannot win again. Moke, we're making sure you get this one, right? But you cannot win again until Jake says so. You can still enter on my streams. I don't care about that. But if you win, you got to give it away. So you still get the dopamine of winning. You get the luck of winning twice. No one else has. But you don't get anything for it. You just get congratulations. Darn. Until Jake says differently. With that though, chat, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Y'all enjoy watching NQ. I'll put it to the 2 minutes so you guys see a little bit more volatility. There you go. And then exclamation mark enter. Rooting for you, 1 HP. Did he type it wrong? I don't think he typed it wrong. I don't know. I don't see him. Anyways, chat, make sure you type it right. What the fuck? I'm done reading chat. I'm done reading chat. Fair point, Peter. Fair point. All right, how are we doing on the entries? 1 HP, you got this. Ollie, did he type it wrong? Because the only way I usually extend is if I see someone typing wrong and struggling. By the way, chat, you have 1 minute, 10 seconds left. So if you haven't got in yet, there's 82 of you in. Half of you have gotten in. You got some time to figure it out. Exclamation mark enter. Also, while I'm looking at chat, who got in the shorts? I know some of y'all did. Appreciate you, Chris. Gael, did they tie? What did 1 HP say that has you rooting for him? Let me read his chats. Oh, he just wants him to win. Raffle's almost over, chat. Final seconds. Literally 2 seconds. Missed cake on it at the last second. Trader Jomo. Have you won before? I know you're always on. Let me get rid of this. That's like what? The third person who's been actively on streams that's won lately? At least today? Hell yeah, Jomo. If you haven't won before, congratulations. 100% deserved. Chat, I'm going to be full honest. I know Jake said it this morning too. These are the people that we absolutely love to see win. Right? I mean, obviously there's a lot more chats here, but he is active in everybody's chats. Obviously we want everybody to win, but everybody can't win. But people like that, we love seeing them win. Rigged. You just saw his chats. If it was rigged, he would have won a while ago. But how many of you guys are in shorts? What do I need to DM? Jomo, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let me know when you send it. I'm a gal. Oh, sorry. To be fair, though, to me, everyone is brother, dude. That's just how I talk. So don't take offense to it. But now that I know that, I got you. Yeah, everybody's homie, bro. Everything. Let's fucking go, girl power. I can't win, but I've come to terms with that. 1 HP eventually. You know, eventually. You still a G? Appreciate you. Yeah, Jomo, let me know when you send me a DM. Ren, that is going to be a question in DMs or Discord, brother. Can't dive too much into the sauce on stream. It's not my sauce to give. All right, you sent me a DM. Let me make sure I got it. I am Trader Jomo. Perfect. I'm going to assume you just said I am Trader Jomo. If so, I'll get you the account right after stream. Your friend from Georgia calls everyone hun, guy or girl. I feel like that's a female. I'd be like, cool. But if a guy called me hun, I don't know how I'd feel. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I would probably just be confused. There's only one thing worse than that. When someone calls you buddy. Probably one of the worst things in the world. Unless it's like someone who's above the age of 75, being called buddy is one of the worst things. Okay, buddy. See, if I know they're joking, though, it doesn't bother me. Hit him with big guy. No, what me and my one buddy do is we hit people with dork. Because, like, imagine being in a heated argument and someone just calls you a dork. Like, someone's throwing insults at you and you're just like, all right, dork. What's the worst you've been rejected? Gaia, what do you mean? I mean, probably just one of the times I was intoxicated visiting my buddies in college. I'll raise you champ. Yeah, that's probably up there too. Pal, yep. There's a list of them. They're all pretty much the same thing, but yeah. So NQ hit that 620s area. ES didn't get the continuation yet. Didn't sweep the lows, which if I wanted to stay in the range, I wish I kind of swept the lows. At least give a little more conviction one way or the other. Did we just get an ugly hourly close? Yep. So that hourly got continuation. Crazy part is ES is a full inside bar. No, Kyle, I've never been called buddy by a female. See you later, Ollie. Good night, Eldred. Might be around Eldred. I mean, there's the probability. I'll raise you champ. Apparently it's in Australian jails. Vandra, I didn't know that. I hope I never need to know that. But I appreciate you letting me know. I mean, there's Australian people in here that can confirm or deny it. Well, I don't know about the jail aspect. In college, we had a rule: bring one back or at least 2 rejection stories every night out. Fair. You get called buddy by a female, you're straight friend zoned? 1,000%. 1,000%. Dude, that would be brutal rejection. Like, at least just tell me no if you're going to reject me. Don't call me buddy. That would just, like, break my heart. Your morale's just gone for the day. Dude, gold is insanely aggressive. Joke's on you, Joe. I didn't go to college. So, incorrect. I visited a lot of colleges because all my buddies went to college. But I never went to college. I was in the trades. I can tell you, every time I went, it made me want to go to college, but it just made me realize I wouldn't care about my degree at all. And I would have just been partying the whole time. So I'm kind of glad I didn't. You'd call me a Karen if I was a woman. Appreciate that, Peter. Means a lot. Straight from the heart, huh? Shit was a fortune for me. I mean, yeah, Joe, I feel like it's a gold mine going to colleges. It was either like that when we visited, or I don't know if it was thunder or gunshots, but it was either like that when I went, or it was trying to see which one of my buddies was going to get extremely intoxicated and try to start a fight that we had to get him out of. It was always one or the other. Big rejection on gold off the open. I think probably the most annoying part about trading right now would just be the volatility in general. Like if you were short, you just had to hold through a 60-point pullback that slammed back lower within the next 5-minute candle. Actually, the next 2-minute candle. Is anyone shorting this right now? If so, where are you guys targeting? What were your guys' entries? Mongolian Open always slaps. It is. Went to community college and online university, visiting family, friends. College was my only real college experience. That was mine. But a lot of my college experience was either Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, and if you know, you know about that, or OSU, because that's where a lot of my buddies went. Short and gold, hell yeah. If I didn't catch this, I'd be a lot more eager to jump in. Because, I mean, we talked about shorts throughout a lot of this move. So I hope some of you guys caught it. 390, I like 390 a lot, Rob. I do. Tag the end of day New York, or no, 390 is today's low, yeah. Initially, I like that, like 408, 410. If we get through that, straight to 390s would be what I'm looking for. You're waiting for the low on NQ longs. What low, right guy? Like the low down at 29,300s. Shorting gold. Gold collector. Makes sense. Makes sense. It's in the name. Checks out. Gold is a beautiful rejection. Especially if this hourly starts to reject. If you got in anywhere near the open, you should be sitting pretty. And it doesn't look like it's going to pull back at all. I anticipate this going lower for sure. Do you like cougars? Miss K. Miss K. All right, so we hit that support area. JK, we all know you're not Miss K. We know. I'm at 1,400, but still down 3,800 on the day. I'm glad you're coming back. Obviously depends on your risk to reward. If that's painful or if that's just a loss, you know. Glad you're coming back though. Been scalping the fuck out of GC. Hell yeah, brother. How did you not care about a degree? Society brainwashes everyone. It's a must. Main thing, Peter, for me is when I was in high school, I went to a small town high school. It was most people were either trades or military. When you got to my grade, because my graduating class was the largest class in like 15 years, and it was like 106 people in my senior class. A majority of people started to go to college like the year before me and our year. And I was a welder. I already, at that point, graduating high school, I'd already spent 2.5 years welding. I knew that's what I wanted to do, at least for the short term. And to me, I had no reason to go to college. I had none. And I knew if I went, it would just be for the experience. Do I wish I went for the experience? Yeah. But I don't wish that I went $50,000 to $60,000 in debt for a degree. Well, it's good money. It is. And it's hard to give that up. Now, I wasn't making insane money right out of high school. I wasn't making good money till shortly before trading when I got in the chemical plants. Because I was doing a lot of like early stage production stuff. Because I went to 2 different welding schools. But yeah, it wasn't worth it to me. Yeah, Shrey, we hit that at the beginning of the stream. So like 10 minutes into stream, we hit that long with no drawdown. Yeah, for me, it's just the area I grew up in. I mean, even my parents, like my mom went to college. My dad didn't. But also like I knew I wouldn't use the degree. I truly knew I didn't. Like I wouldn't. And I also thought at the time most of college was like a scam. And I still feel that. Now, there are certain aspects where I fully recommend people to go to college. If you want to be something where you actually need a degree, yes. But a majority of stuff wants you to have field work anyway. So you can go to college for 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. Get a degree, get the degree, try to get a job, and they're like, you need 4 years of working experience. Well, you're fucked either way. Whereas if you just went in that career, got the work experience in general, you'd probably be one of the top candidates if you worked for that 4 years instead of going to college. I'm an engineer, had no choice. See, stuff like that, wholeheartedly. Need a degree. But for me, what would I do? Go for construction management or something? It just ain't worth it. Anything business related, like if I want to dive into that aspect, I can just find stuff online. Hey, gold, just hit my break even, then came down, and I'm shorting MNQ right now. Glad you caught some MNQ short. Once you get scratched by a cougar, you'll never be the same. Oh, fuck. Rob, Miss K did not need you to say that sentence. Question, since I'm new to props, how do you determine when to take your payout? I have a few Trade Advice Select that are capped at 1K daily withdraws. I'm up 500 and contemplating the withdrawal. Zach, number one thing to look at. If you are contemplating the withdrawal, most likely take it. If you are an overly consistent trader where you know you will not blow that account and you can grow that buffer to where you want it to, leave it. but I very rarely would tell anyone to do that. The number one thing I say is usually take it. Worst case, if you want to try to build a bigger buffer, take a payout on 2 or 3 of them. Or I don't know how many you have. I'm just assuming 5, right? If you have 2 of them, take a payout on 1, right? Get yourself something. Because what would be more painful to you is if you didn't take a payout, tried to grow that buffer, and then lost it. It probably wouldn't impact you that much if you got the payout and then ended up maybe blowing the account because the drawdown's tighter, you know? Because then you still have that payout to get more accounts if you need it. But for me, a lot of it is just cash out what you can. I don't chase max payouts for the most part. I just make sure I have enough buffer. And if I don't have enough buffer, I just size down after I get my payout. $2,000 first payout ever. Hopefully not blowing on the last day. Most fab. I need you to do one thing. If you're on your last day for a payout, go into your account, set a max daily drawdown right now to lock your ass out. Even if it's $300, which would still be decent if you're close to a payout. But set that daily drawdown because that is the number one time period that people blow their accounts, especially their first ever payout. So do yourself a favor and make it impossible for you to blow that account. Never traded a 25K account? They're not bad. It's just micros. Jomo, what size do you normally use? The risk to, or the pass to fail aspect on the numbers is a lot leaner. Like it's nicer. 50K, I meant contract sizing. I'm going to do it right now, please. And that is advice I will give. Set the daily loss limit and do not care. 4 to 5 micros. That's perfect. Miss K. Or not Miss K. Trader Jomo. I'm just thinking of the females in chat. Yeah, 4 micros is okay. Well, NQ or MES. Because you might, if you're NQ, you might want to go down. It also depends on how many losses you typically take in a row. With 25Ks, I usually risk like $200. So it gives me 7-ish trades. But it is a growth account, so you can't pass in one day. There is going to be consistency on the accounts, though. So with the growth, so you will have a daily loss limit of 600, a max drawdown of 1,000, and then your profit target's 1,500. So it's the closest drawdown to profit target out of all the accounts. I risk 300 per trade. If you feel like you can't, like if you're not going to lose 4 trades in a row, then that should be fine. Yeah, 25K Tradeify growth is the account. And then one piece of advice I could give is if you're doing the 300 per trade, let's say you're going for 2R, so $600 in profit. I would focus a little less on the consistency aspect. Now, don't let yourself get crushed by it, right? Don't go making $1,200 in a day if you need $1,500 for a payout. But don't be overly strict on like the 35%, right? Just trade how you want to trade. Worst case, you can size down a tiny bit, risk 200 per trade, and then trade off it that way. See you later, Mike. I'll probably be hopping off soon just because I don't see anything that I love. Yeah, just lower size a little bit, especially on NQ because it's going to be violent, right? And you just have to cap your returns. Once you get a buffer built and you get the first payout, at that point, I kind of start to work towards like the live aspect, and that's something you can put your mind towards if you want to. $100 risk per trade in this volatility. Perfect. Perfect. It's like 10 points on ES and what, 50 on NQ? Beautiful. Just put 400 as my risk management, daily drawdown, 3 trades max per day. Beautiful, fab. I mean, if you're at 5.25K on a 50K, beautiful. What account is it? What firm? Lucid Flex, most fab. You want to know the greatest thing about that? And don't focus on this till after your payout, right? So you will take out 2K because that's obviously the max payout. You will still have 3.25K, which means all you have to do is make 5 days of $150 in profit, and you're automatically eligible for another payout with Lucid. Now, obviously, if you want to grow the account to try to get over 4K, sure, fine. After you get the payout, beautiful. But with Lucid, you don't have to make the 3K again. You just need the 5 days. Yeah, Trader Jomo, this could actually help too because you'll be using smaller size. So maybe this could be the account that starts to help grow you up there. God, I'm pretty sure you're behind on chat if you're reading Miss K's comments. Gold looking good? Dude, but gold is just violent, brother. Indices are trying to hold. I mean, we swept the lows. We didn't get exactly to where I wanted. I mean, we got it on ES. Actually, we did get where I wanted. We hit the 410 area. What's really interesting is the relative strength on RTY and YM. Longs could be a play. I'm not taking anything else towards the end here. I'm likely just going to wait it out. I'll see if something else sets up later tomorrow. Probably not going to trade tomorrow, to be honest. It's Friday. Probably just going to take a long weekend. Only take A or A plus setups. Yep. Most fab. So I'm guessing you just need to log a $150 a day. You don't have to do this, but remember the one thing that I always do. And I'm mainly talking about for just people in general when it gets to this point. If all you need to do is log a $150 a day, what I do is I set a certain parameter on my account that kicks me out. Like you guys saw my trade today where it hit that $1,100 mark and it liquidated my entire position for me. I didn't exit there. It exited for me on the last runner. And that's how I do most of my trading. Unless I'm on a flex where I'm just trying to build the buffer and I don't have to worry about the log days yet, or a select flex, then I go with that. But anytime I need to get a certain amount, I set the daily profit target to kick me out. So like in that scenario, I would take a trade where maybe I'm risking $150 to make 250 or 300, set my daily profit target at 170, 180. When it gets there, it'll just liquidate me and I'm done. Probably too bad to take any trades. It's just too violent. There's definitely trade opportunities, just nothing that I'm like, hell yeah, I need to be in this thing. Trading nothing but RTY and YM because of their strength, and they've been so clean lately. Yeah, Blambo. We traded YM a few days ago. On stream, it got stopped, but the momentum after was this, actually. Wait, was it this? Or was it this? No, it was this. That move right there was what we were looking for. YM, when it moves and gets momentum, it is one of the cleanest charts out there. Anyways, chat, does anyone have any last minute questions? Because if not, I might go ahead and call it a stream. With Salty, I got stopped as well. That's where it helps. Because people call me crazy for staying up till like 3 a.m. most nights. Sometimes those 2 to 3 a.m. moves hit, and they hit nice. And I'll stay up that late and then not trade till 7 p.m. the next day. SpaceX was a rug pull. SpaceX was just an overpriced IPO. And I feel like most people realize that. This was fully expected. Plus, most IPOs do this. Most IPOs see a strong rally and then reverse. But you have to remember, up here, it was worth more than most of the Mag 7. So at that point, yeah, Jomo, I got you. I believe I did. I didn't send it yet, but I got your message. Just in case someone else tries to claim it. Yeah, you said it's Trader Jomo, so I got you. As long as that was your message. But no, SpaceX was overvalued wholeheartedly. I mean, most people knew that, but also I think there was a clause for the early investors and the employees that once SpaceX was up 30% from IPO, they were able to sell. It's kind of anticipated. It's also why I didn't want to touch SpaceX until we build daily structure. This isn't daily structure, right? This isn't even daily structure. We need a lot more price action before I'm even interested in this thing. This thing could go all the way down to 100, and I'd be like, you know what? Maybe we'll start to dabble. I'd probably want it lower than that, to be honest. They push it to sell some. Yeah. I mean, they only let out a certain amount of shares, too. Bet the 1.5 spread on USA. Guy, I just don't know if I can bet soccer. I don't like betting stuff I'm not watching. Is my biggest thing. That's why I bet the UFC and football for the most part. Wave I bet. Just add a little spice to the game. Really appreciate you, Jake, and the 365 crew. Appreciate you, Slightly Toasted. It means a lot. It truly does. That London late night move hits different when they go. It does. It really does. Because most of the time, I'm just chilling around in my office doing stuff, and then I'll just have the charts up on the side. But with that, guys, I think we'll call it a stream. I don't see much to do on the market. Right now, we are still overall in a downtrend, but we're range bound, right? We swept the low of the range. This could easily go back up towards the high of the range without much hesitation. Is what it is for now. If you find a solid risk to reward potential entry, could be worth it. But I'm not really interested in stabbing more. If structure builds on like the 15, outside of one reversal candle, and we actually get like maybe a 15-minute higher low, could be interested later, but I'm probably done for the week, to be honest. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Beautiful trade on the day. Couldn't end the week better. Can you brief about Jake's Discord? Yeah, Jomo, the Discord, first off, if you do in my chat, Discord, oh wait. That, it'll give you the link, but the Discord has the entire mastermind involved in it. Yes, it is the entirety of the course that I bought 5 years ago, five years ago, somewhere around there. And it's within the monthly membership. That'll say it's $200. If you use code STREAM, STREAM, it'll give you 50% off. So you get the entire mastermind for $99 a month. And we've seen a lot of people already capitalize on that. And that's the crazy thing. You kind of choose how much it costs, right? How long you want to stay in the Discord, how long you want access to it. On top of that, you get the bonus lessons. So you get, it's like 500 something recorded bonus lessons, trade reviews, psychology lessons, a bunch of stuff. The psychology bot, which Jake has programmed within the Discord, the 2 indicators Jake has, the levels and Eagle Eye, which I know a lot of people are loving lately. With that as well, some people want to see Mitch's intraday breakdowns, right? Mitch is in there with the breakdowns. Every single day, he updates throughout the day. Alan as well. All of his trades, or not all of his trades, but trade ideas he has. Plus, we have Discord moderators that a lot of people don't know about. So we have Mullet, J Groove, and Joel. And then Wax is an outside analyst, but he's up here with us. So you get all of the trades as well if you want those in text version. Not all of them, but some of them. Jake posts all of his in there. How it plays, my win rate is still 60%. Michael, what do you mean it's more taxing? Jake's chat is tilting most of the time. It is. But if you notice, I mean, it's a difference also because of like P&L aspects. Like today, people probably tweaked off of Jake's trade. But Jake's okay living through that. Does it suck at times? Yeah, it does. Everyone's going to feel that. But when people see Jake's P&L fluctuating $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, that's a shit ton of money for them. So they're going to tilt. For me, yeah, $1,000 is beautiful. But people aren't going to see that and be like, oh my God, that's life-changing money. Is it great money? Yes. 100%. But they're not, usually it's weird because people tilt on Jake's trades for him, which is why a lot of people freak out. Bullish candle this day, then come all the way back down until end of the month. I can see it. I love the mastermind, totally worth it. Need to utilize the Discord. I'm just always watching the YouTube streams. Yeah, if you're in the YouTube streams, wholeheartedly. Like, to be honest, you guys see drastically more trades than I post on the Discord. The main trades I post in the Discord are if I'm looking at something during New York or an options trade. And y'all know I have not been trading New York much lately. I've been trading the overnight session and then doing whatever I want to do during the day. Find more setup on Forex because of how much slower it is, so I find tighter entries. Michael, this session could be you're turning a $100 futures account into $100K. Starting that is going to be a pain in the ass. Unless you've already grown it a little bit. You can do it with $100, but it is brutal to be tight. Like, you have to be right on your first few trades or else you're just cooked. But yeah, good luck with that. Hope it works. Yeah, this session's a lot easier because you get lower volatility. Obviously today, volatility is pretty heightened. Typically, you're not getting that extreme. You're at 350, 400. Solid. Really solid. Anki on Discord. I will try it out for a month. Appreciate you, Jomo. Yeah, that link above you and the discount code STREAM will give it to you for $99 a month. And it's not a one-time thing. Like, it's not $99 first month. It's $99 till you cancel. So I still think Jake's crazy for leaving that open, but he leaves it open, so we're going to push it. Anyways, chat, I think I'm going to call it there. Solid stream. Couldn't be happier. Beautiful trade. Obviously, wouldn't take anything after. I didn't overly love the market. Shorts did play out well if anyone took those. Right? About 20 points on ES below the open. Rejection on NQ was either 175 or if you got in down here, about 100. Solid potential. But I think I'm going to call it a night. That is going to be it for me on the week. This is my Friday stream. I will be back Sunday. Alan streams 1 a.m. Eastern. Y'all know it. Most of y'all are probably there. Love the support on his stream. If you want to check out the Discord, the link is in the chat. If you want to use any prop firms and support the channel, code RANK or code RT is how we are able to do all this. Jake self-funds everything. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to use the code. If you show up to the YouTubes, it's good enough. So we appreciate everything you guys do and you guys allowing us to do this. With that, though, y'all have a great rest of your night and y'all have a good weekend. I'll talk to y'all later. Take care, Daddy. Goddamn, Peter. Have a good night, Peter.